Everyone for your patience. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:23. And we'll start off with a roll call. Brown?
Here.
Aviana?
Present.
Papua?
Here.
And Rudolph, present. I'd like to invite everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And at this time, I'd like to read our vision statement. The Bayshore community, growing engaged hearts, educated minds, and empowered visionaries. And with that, I need a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Superintendent Beal, are there any public comments? No public comments. Excellent. Okay, we'll move on to item 4, consent items. I need a motion and a second to approve consent items.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and with that, we will move on to item 5, educational services. And with that, I'll pass it over to Superintendent Beal.
Okay, thank you, President Rudolph. We have the honor of having a couple of wonderful updates. First from the teacher, Mr. Dyson, and Baker about our summer school program.
So you guys are going to stand over here so we can have you on camera. And if you want to grab one of those mics at the end of where Teresa is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm with the right person too. Okay. Good evening, esteemed board and Ms. Veal, children, families. Nice to see everybody at this first board meeting. So yeah, we just wanted to give a little update about our summer camp, which was sort of where we left off before we came back. We had a really smoothly running for year 2 summer camp, summer program. As far as numbers, we had about 20 kindergartners. That was our largest group. We had 10 first graders who did art with Morgan Snell, and then they flip-flopped with Coach Arnold and Chris Omoto, who did an incredibly rich fitness program. We had 18 second graders who did Elevate Math with Mr. Luca, which was kind of fun because he got to work with kids that he'd had before that he knew. We had 12 third graders who worked with Miss Thigpen doing Elevate Math, 13 fourth graders who did Elevate Math with Mr. Mikado, who was one of the Elevate Math people. It was the first time we've had a new teacher, Mr. Mikado and also Mr. Reynoso. When Mr. Mikado left, he gave me his resume and said if we ever had a teacher opening, he thought this was a wonderful environment to work in. So that was lovely. We had fifth grade worked with Miss Miriam doing Elevate Math, and Mr. Dyson not only served as director of our summer camp, but really helped out with tech, particularly with Miss Miriam, who'd never done that before, and that was very exciting for her. We had 4 8th graders who did coding. They were in here, and whenever you walked in the library, you kind of felt like there was going to be some kind of explosion or something. Like they were so deeply engaged and involved in what they were doing that it was just a very intense environment. You feel like you were like kind of walking in on something that you weren't supposed to be there if you didn't understand coding. It was amazing. And then we had 14 middle schoolers who did this sort of flip-flop between art with Miss Snell and fitness with Coach Arnold and Mr. Chris. And of course, and then we had the extended school year program. There were 6 students who worked with Miss Flores, our 4th grade teacher, who's now our 3rd grade teacher, and Miss Rozier, one of our fabulous and amazing education specialists. So that was wonderful. And then BGCP had their first run of doing after school programming, after camp programming, and they did a really, really great job. They're kind of showing us what they're going to bring in the fall. And Mr. Dyson, I just really want to thank you for really running a good summer camp and making morning be this really delightful way to start the morning every day, and smoothing out wrinkles, making sure everybody was happy. You did an amazing job. And I'm going to give this to you if you want to add anything.
Thank you. I just want to add the Math Elevate program. It was excellent to see the 5th graders actually transition from 5th to 6th, and how they were working with Miss Miriam and learning new concepts. And, it was a little rough at the beginning, of course, because kids and change, you know how it is. But it was good to see them working towards where they're going for next year. And it was great.
That's all we got. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our next update is from the Summer Fitness Pilot Program that Coach Arnold and Mr. Patel coordinated with the incredible generosity of our gym owners in South San Francisco. I had the pleasure and honor of seeing everyone in action, rotating through their circuits. I think we even took a picture, but it was incredible to see the focus and dedication and just the dance of going through the circuits that I saw with alumni and current students. So I'll stop talking because we do have a presentation. Is that correct, Coach Arnold? Okay, thank you.
Well, good evening, school board, Mr. Dyson, Ms. Veal, new superintendent, Ms. Baker, our principal. Good evening to Bayshore Fitness. Thank you all for coming. I know today some of you are on your first day of high school. Thank you so much for being here. We've also have two students who are from Bayshore Fitness that was not with us summer camp that are also here that is going to be that would want to continue for next school year. Also presence of Mr. Jim Wilson and also Miss Futaba Takashima, owners of Physique Magnifique in South San Francisco. Also Miss Vicki and PTO president, Miss Lisa Biljana. Miss Lisa Colantes, sorry, Lisa Colantes. All right, I wrote everything down because I know that I'm gonna be up here and I know I'm gonna be facing, I feel like I'm in Shark Tank right now. It's my first time here, but this is very, very special to me. I'm here to present a program, an elective program that started last year. And it turned out, and then it turned into a summer pilot program with Mr. Wilson and Ms. Futaba. In the beginning, we had 24 students signed up for this elective program. The main goal was fundamental fitness. Main goal was body weight training. Kids were introduced to yoga. Kids were introduced to dance and mixed fit and just a lot of exercise we threw at them. And in total, there are probably about 100 exercises that they learn, stretches, things that they can do at home, things that they can do not just by themselves, but also with their families without any weights. Also during those times, we had Mr. Joe Medina, who was staff here, come by, and he actually started the first day teaching the kids how he got into routines, how he got into waking up super early in the morning and swimming and things like that, and how important it is to have a routine. We're also followed by doing yoga. We reached out to Miss Vicki Smith, Miss Jessica Colangelo, and also Miss Erin Haley, who are staff here at the school, and they also taught the kids yoga. The school ended and we had 11 graduates, and I did a video and I asked the kids, what are you going to miss with, with Bayshore Fitness? And a lot of them wanted to continue on. And talking to the coaches, we felt that there's a need for fitness, especially after being at home and staying at home during the COVID times. And a lot of the kids we noticed in the beginning are they're just looking for something, not just all academics. They're looking for something else. And we really saw a big improvements. We saw changes in just how just their body language, the way they talk, the way they treat each other. It was I wished everyone had the chance to be there day one all the way to the end. I reached out to Ms. Fataba and Mr. Wilson. They're there at Physique Magnifique, South San Francisco, and they quickly opened the door for us. This is a free program for all the kids. In their gym, they had so many programs, but they did not have conditioning. They did not have conditioning with kids. And this opened up the doors to have the kids go there 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We would meet up here in the gym after my shift is done with summer camp and go to the park to get some vitamin D and then go to the gym to work out. I have a slideshow to show everyone, just to get a feel of how it was. The beginning part is all about the how it was Bayshore Fitness, and then how it turned into a summer pilot program. Summer pilot program, we had 19 kids join us. We had one 11th grader who joined us, alumni. We had a couple of alumni, also 8th graders, and also 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We had the pleasure of having Ms. Veal there also. Thank you for your time. I know you're super busy, but thank you for your time. And also Mr. Rick Abeliana, representing the school board. Thank you for also being there and for always supporting us. This is just the reason why I'm here. It's for support. The reason why I'm here is because I do what I do, and the coach is here too. It's all for the kids. Coach Kev, alumni Vincent. We also have Mr. Brian, Mr. Dyson was there. You'll see him on the video. Miss Vicki Smith was there also working out with us. Miss Lisa, Diana, Miss Lisa, and the parents. This is a family. And I feel that we need this connection. We need this active connection, even though the kids won't be here at Bayshore anymore. I feel that they need this. And they are here today to pitch also with me and the coaches that this continue on for the others. So this is pretty much their gift to the students that's still here at Bayshore. So without further ado, can you have the slideshow, Mr. Tyson? Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
keep watching you. And switch.
Finish that.
That's how I think this is how I describe it. Oh. Like that. That's okay. You bet. 15 seconds. You bet. Do your best. Oh, do your best. 10 seconds. That's perfect. You're doing great. Doing great. Doing great.
And one. And then I'm looking, see this hand that you just, you held this hand down. I'm gonna end up looking away from it. But first I'll put my arm way out here, then I'll look away. The main thing you should be able to.
Move after team out.
Let's go! Exactly, that's not what we're doing. Yes. Come on. Yeah. What? Stretch!
All right, good evening, everyone. We are going to pass the mic around to some of the alumni, coaches, folks that want to just share. A few things that I wanted to highlight was just this elective was super powerful. One, because Coach Arnold was actually facilitating it. So on record, I was the teacher of the credentialed teacher, but I think there's been a dynamic in the past where there's a certain level of respect for teachers and instructional aides. And I think this gave Coach Arnold the opportunity to share his brilliance with the students and for them to connect with him on that. And not just his brilliance, but he was able to also highlight like the brilliance of different educators as well as a lot of the students. And I know he brought it up, but I think it's just huge that a lot of alumni, especially the ones who have started high school today, are actually here in the room to share their experience. And too often in the past, I've connected with alumni who are always like, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get out of here. And it takes years before they come back and they're like, hey, I actually missed this place. And so I think sports and athletic opportunities in this situation is helping students realize the power of sharing space within athletic spaces here, and it's bringing them back even on their first day of school. So I think that's I just want to give it up to the alumni because I feel like that's huge for y'all to be coming back. I'm just excited to see this to continue growing, whether it's an elective with CTE programming or after school with a student athlete club next year. So I'm just excited to see it grow. And I just want to thank everyone for supporting it. And then alumni or students who might want to share any of their experiences, parents, anybody. Or actually, sorry, Mr. B. Let's have Mr. B share first.
Hello, really quickly, my name is Brian. I'm the school counselor. I believe in fitness as being the best medication for mental health. It's preventative and it helps people focus. So, with that being said, don't trust me or take my word for it. Look at the research. Less than one quarter of our youth today, aged 6 to 17, get the regular required 60 minutes of physical activity today. Students who are physically active tend to have better grades, school attendance, cognitive performance, being memory, classroom behaviors, on-task behaviors. Higher physical activity and physical fitness levels are associated with improved cognitive performances, concentration, memory. So with that being said, fitness leads to improved behavior, less acting out, improved self-esteem, improved sleep, improved self-confidence, reduced stress, reduced anxiety, reduced depression, stronger thinking skills, improved memory. I think that's all things we want for our youth and our students. And we can do that through fitness. A simple run, a simple push-up, a simple sit-up, shooting the basketball, running flag football routes. Those all help with mental health and in these areas. And just to highlight, we have a student who was in student athlete club and in fitness. Had a really hard summer last year. There was no programming. That student got to a very bad level where that student needed to be in therapy during the summer or an outside agency. We need to do better. We can't just focus on school. We need to put them in positions to succeed. Look at the confidence. Angel, first day, I can't do this. When are we gonna stop? On the last day, that's it? Johnny, always complaining about me parking far away. Why you park so far away? It's too far to walk. And then on the last day, because I always drop them off in front of the gym, Johnny, why didn't you get out the car? He's like, no, I'm gonna go with you. Like, you're gonna walk with me? Yeah, I'm gonna walk with you. So you can see the growth, their self-esteem, their confidence, and that's what we want for all our kids, but we just don't want it to be 6 weeks. We want it to be year-round. I mean, as Mr. Wilson can attest, doing fitness saved his life, and I'll let him tell that story. But mental health matters, and I believe fitness is the best medication that you can take.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Vincent Martinez. I graduated from Bayshore about 6 years ago, and being a part of this program has really made me reflect on my experiences at Bayshore from 6 years ago. I mean, 6 years ago, we didn't have any sort of fitness awareness, any really sports. All we had was a boys basketball team for 8th graders and a girls basketball team. And just seeing that lack of opportunity and the effect it had on the students versus seeing it now and how fitness has really benefited all these students has been really eye-opening for me. I remember my first day going into high school, I decided to join my cross-country team. I remember thinking I was about to like own all my teammates. I was about to run like 3 miles, outrun everybody, and going 1 mile in and just completely like dropping and walking the rest of the way. And like reflecting on that experience, I saw a lot of what I felt in high school in these kids as they went through this fitness program. The first day, as Ryan was saying, they all want to stop. They're all complaining. We ran, I believe, like 2 rounds. After the first round, they're like, "We have another one," right? And just seeing the like how much it prepares them, not just physically, but also for high school, because that was a really big factor for me playing sports. I didn't feel like I was prepared in high school. My fitness wasn't up to par as some of these other kids. And just generally piggybacking off of what Brian said, in high school, I feel like I used sports as a avenue, as a sort of escape for my academics. And I feel we don't place enough importance on fitness, and we place much more of a emphasis on academics when they should be going hand in hand. And just seeing how Coach Kev and Coach Arnold start these beautiful programs like Student Athlete Club, it's something I really wish I had back then, and I'm super glad that these kids have now.
Hi, I'm Vicki Smith. I'm a substitute teacher here at Bayshore. And I have to say, before I knew that Bayshore Fitness was a thing, I could see, I had Angel come up to me and was like, how do I look? How do I look? And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, it's just like they're building that confidence and they want to see those changes and they're excited. And and I was able to teach yoga, and I could see the kids in Bayshore Fitness really making that effort. And it was hard because I was the only teacher in there. So I came back when Erin Haley taught, and I was able to walk around and do adjustments. And those kids really tried to take that seriously. They were really listening. During the summer, I was traveling, so I only got to come to the last 2 weeks and a couple sessions. So I didn't see them at the beginning, but I can tell you the confidence and the ability to, like, them holding those poses and wanting to adjust and be correct was just amazing. And yeah, they were like whining and complaining like normal, but they were trying their 110%. You know, just like there's like, again, another round. Okay. And then they would do it, and we would walk around and help adjust, and they took it seriously and they wanted to do their best. There was not one slacker out there. Even the ones that were tired were doing it. So I really wish that I was able to be there at the beginning at Physique Magnifique so I can just see how they changed. And I just want to reiterate what Mr. Bryan said, because mental health and exercise go hand in hand. And for me, that's a no-brainer. And I've had a hurt hit for the last 2.5 weeks because I was an idiot and missed a step, and I haven't been able to do anything, and I'm going crazy. So it's like, so the last 2, I've just sat there watching them. But the first one, I did it. I was right along Francesca doing all the exercises with her and kicked my butt, but it was awesome. So this is so important for the kids to have this fitness program at the school, and then be able to have summer programs and after school programs where they're doing that physical. And I think it really helps build those confidence, and kids are calmer and more relaxed and more confident in the classroom. And it makes our teaching jobs easier, it makes parenting easier. It just makes life easier, especially from a mental health perspective. So I just want to say thank you to Physique Magnifique. They were amazing. They were just down in there with those kids. They were just loving it, you know, and so it was a gift. And I was able to drive for the field trip when we went. They did a great little presentation. We walked through. It was amazing. So I just want to hope that we keep this up. And I can't wait. I'm a certified yoga teacher, so I cannot wait to teach again when we have Bayshore Fitness again.
Hi, my name is Leslie. I'm an 8th grade student. Oh no, okay. Let's get into this. My name is Leslie. I'm now in the 8th grade. All I have to say is that if it wasn't for Mr. Wilson and Okay, okay. If it wasn't for grandma and grandpa, I wouldn't be able to do a proper squat correctly or a proper push up correctly because they actually kind of did. Oh, I'm getting nervous. I actually kind of did learn a lot from them, and some kids that goes to Bayshore don't have opportunities that people had in this program. They had opportunities, and it did open up a lot of doors because for the first like couple weeks I went there, I was kind of okay. It's kind of hard to see it go because I joined the Bayshore Fitness in summer, and I wish I had opportunities to do it in school and stuff like that because they actually did help me with a lot of things that it was hard over the summer, and I can see that. And just to see like all provided opened a lot of doors for other people because for the first day I was there, it was kind of hard for me to push through. I was tired. I didn't feel like doing it, but I did it anyway because the only way that you're gonna learn is if you learn from your mistakes. And I made a lot of mistakes during that program, and I actually had became a better me. And to see it and to see it evolve like this is very good because I made a lot of good relationships with a lot of people that went to this that was in this program, and now it went away like because now I'm so used to waking up in the morning and now I don't have nothing to do but it's kind of fun just waking up every morning, working out, and I still do it because it's like it's a good thing. Mental health and working out, it goes hand to hand. It helps you do things, certain things. So like if you're trying to work out, go to them. They're actually very helpful. They're some kind people.
I'm getting bored. She's pushing me. Hi, my name is Francesca. I actually started high school today. It was my first day. If I stutter, I'm sorry because I'm very tired. I had 2 hours of volleyball practice today. So, yeah. I want to thank you guys, first of all, and the coaches for giving me rides. And you guys actually taught me to do correct forms because I was making careless mistakes that I didn't know I was actually making. And I'm very thankful that you guys showed me how to do it correctly. And actually made really good relationships with everyone that went. And I'm surprised to see Aaliyah because she's an alumni. But I just want to thank everyone.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I'm gonna be a 7th grader. And first I want to like tell you why this program is a must and why it should continue. And first, it's because like this program is like Leslie had said, it opens up a lot of doors. And to go with what Mr. Bryan had said, it changes how you view yourself, especially. Go ahead. Because sometimes before this program, you would look in the mirror. Sorry, I sound so.
Take your time.
you look in the mirror and you would look directly at certain places in your body that you were worried about other people talking about. And now I just look at myself and my face and just see how I smile because I don't care about that anymore. And I just care about like what goes in my body. And it makes me feel really happy, just like knowing that my body feels good. Like I don't feel unhealthy anymore. And it's just like this program had taught me, especially Ms. Kova, how to be careful what goes in your body. And sometimes in order, like when I used to work out, I didn't do it for my health, like internally. I would do it just so I could look better. But now I just want to do it just so I can play sports, but be healthy on the inside. And this program, like, she really helped me understand why I have to take care of myself and how to. And they're just really good people. And now when I walk in there, I just feel like it's a place where you can just feel comfortable and without working like other places when you work out, you feel like there's eyes on you, but now you just feel like you can work out and just have a place where you can be healthy.
Perfect. Can we pass the Kleenex box around, please?
Hi, my name is Kitty. I'm Francesca's mom. I remember in the beginning, before this whole thing happened, Coach Arnold told me about he's putting this like Bayshore Fitness together. And I said like, oh, you know what? If the 8th grade graduated people can get involved, please count Francesca in. Then I went home. I said, hey, Francesca, we started this conversation with Coach Arnold. She go like, what the heck did you say? I say, well, you are joining whatever he's putting together. She go like, again, Mom, you're pushing me into things without my permission. I say, well, honestly, since COVID started, all the kids are just staying home, sitting around doing nothing except snacking, right? So I see a lot of kids for the last 2 years, because I work for Kaiser. A lot of kids came, including adults. They all gain weight. We all gain weight. And what can we do about it? That's why I was talking to Coach Arnold. I said, can we do something for the kids? Because I want the kids to be healthy. So then very thankful that Physique Magnifique came into the picture. And the two coaches, it's very good too. The whole thing is about, we can all do exercise, but are we doing it right? So basically, for Mr. Wilson and Mr. Nelson, right? Mr. Wilson, sorry, I think I'm right. Mr. Wilson and Ms. Fotapa that actually did a great job of teaching all the kids the body chemistry, what to do is correct and without hurting themselves. And I can see in the beginning, Francesca kind of like, do I have to go? But after the first week, and she go like, oh, I can't wait to go again. Is it Monday yet? And then, so I think we skipped one class because I was tested false positive, so she was not able to go. And she was very disappointed that day. So we were both locked in the house, and she walked around back and forth to go, oh, I wonder what the kids are doing. I said, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I kind of like caused that one absence there. But I think after the whole entire fitness program, her mental health changed, her mindset changed, because so now she's looking at the facts on the boxes before she buys, and then when she's tempted to go to the fridge to get ice cream, she go, maybe not today. She put it back. So I think the coaches did a great job on like educating the kids how to eat healthy and how to maintain their mental health. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to share?
Hey.
Hey.
Hello, sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Angel. And so I just want to start off by saying when I first heard about Bayshore Fitness, it was towards the beginning of the I don't know what it was, semester, new year, but I heard about it and I was like, wow, that sounds cool, I might want to join it. And then And then I heard that, if I was going to join, I got to be serious about it. So I was like, yeah, I'll be serious. I'll try it out. But when I first joined it, I was tired and exhausted. And I was like, damn, I don't know it was going to be like this. But then slowly I started adapting. Like in the beginning, I couldn't even do a push-up. Now I could probably do like 20 on ease. And then I just know that there's a lot of people in Bayshore that they want to get into fitness and they want an opportunity like this, but they have no idea where to start. And I want to thank Coach Arnold and Miss Otaba and Mr. Wilson because they kind of like set it up together to make it possible. And I know there's just like other people out there that like want to get into fitness in Bayshore, but they just have no idea like where to start or how to get into it. And I feel like Bayshore Fitness is like the perfect opportunity for that. So they can like learn about fitness and what it's really about to be healthy. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anybody else?
Good evening. Is this working? My name is Futada. My husband and I are the owners of Physique Magnifique. We've been there for 25 years. Our oldest daughter is 25 years old. When we started, she was in behind the front desk was like a baby, what do you call it? Like a baby crib? Yeah. And our kids pretty much had to stay at the gym all the time. But I've noticed that over the last maybe about 10 years, fitness has become, when we first started, fitness was not so mainstream. It was mainly for athletes and bodybuilders. And the last maybe 10, 15 years, it's become more mainstream. But I've also noticed the past 5 years, it's become more like a bougie elitist sport, right? So or if you want to learn how to lift properly, you have to have a personal trainer. You have to do this, you have to do that. I went to yoga a few times with my daughter and everybody's decked out with Lululemon and and it just seems like it's a very elitist, it's becoming an elitist thing. To eat healthy, to eat organic, it's more expensive to eat organic, right? Everything that's good for you is more expensive and it's not within the reach of most of us. And we've always wanted to help everybody. And one of our sayings is building a community through fitness. And we kind of really wanted to do this because we train a lot of people and a lot of people say, oh man, if only I had known this when I was younger. Then my husband and I was like, wow, why don't we teach the kids while they're younger? Why do we have to wait till they're older and are already pre-diabetic or diabetic or have high blood pressure, have high cholesterol and don't know anything? We have to reteach and they have to relearn everything that they're supposed to do or not do. So we've been waiting for this opportunity, but we didn't know where to go. And the universe brought Coach Arnold to us. And we said, wow, this is a great opportunity. So that's why we started this pilot program. And it's been really wonderful. My husband and I train, wealthy people all day long, which is wonderful because that's how we make a living and we're very appreciative. But they don't have that same enthusiasm that all of, the students from Bayshore brought. It was super exciting. Every time after we finished training them, I felt like, I don't know, I had like I had an oxygen boost or something like that. It just felt like, well, why am I so happy? I just felt so happy, every single time. And it was just delightful. And thank you all for bringing all of your energy, because we really appreciate it. And we do plan, I've been working with some people. I have now a committee to help make fitness more accessible to everybody. And just even for the alumni, if you ever felt like it, we will reach out to you through Coach Arnold, that we plan to do like a parents' night out, probably on a Saturday. And we'll introduce different kinds of fitness. It could be maybe Olympic lifting, it could be jujitsu, it could be Muay Thai, boxing, all those different things that you'll have an opportunity to try. And we'll also, on the back end, sometimes we'll bring ingredients of things, and you'll learn how to put together a healthy salad or a healthy meal. And so we have a million things that, so it's not just the actual physical activity, but how do you nourish your body, right? Because our body is a temple. And we have to understand that because everything that's out there, it's all about money, making everything cheap, salty, sweet, fun, right? To kind of entice you. It's like, ooh, eat this, eat that. But it's important that we don't ruin our temple. So that's kind of our passion, to be able to show people how to really treat ourselves, be good to our body on the inside. The outside is just a reflection of what's really going on in the inside, physically and mentally and emotionally. So there's still lots of great things that we have that haven't actually happened yet, but my brain is like jam-packed full of ideas. So there's going to be lots of opportunities, hopefully, for you guys to come to Physique Magnifique again. So thank you so much.
Is there anyone else?
My turn?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, she said a lot. Number one, that was a lower level of our gym. Physique Magnifique, we also have an upper level that's more put together for adults. But just personally, I grew up on Third and Newcomb, right? But in the beginning, I actually wanted to be a drummer. I had no idea that bodybuilding even existed. But my mother couldn't afford a drum set, nor could she afford drum lessons. So, and she wanted to move me out of the community. So I moved from Hunters Point to Daly City. But even in Daly City, I started getting into trouble because getting into trouble was cool. Hanging out with my cousins, and they smoked weed and they did those types of things, but I really wasn't savvy enough to live that kind of lifestyle. But I tried anyway. I cut class and got bad grades because I thought it was the cool thing to do. And so one day after cutting class, I ran into my science class because science is also enjoyed science. I still enjoy science. Ran into class, and one of my teachers said to me, she's pregnant, Kathy Mallinger, never forget her name. She says, hey, are you a wrestler? And I'm like, 15 years old. No, I'm a bodybuilder, She says, is that right? My husband's a bodybuilder. I'm like, yeah, is that right? She says, yeah, and if you're interested, I'll ask him if he can get you a pass to his gym. He's like a Coach Arnold. It's like, oh, wow, So he got me a pass to his gym, Mark Ballinger. And I remember Mark taking me to the gym. And my mother saying, well, I don't know if I can afford this gym membership because it was $25 a month. So she bought me a gym membership for a month. After the month, it was like, I don't know if I can continue this gym. So the gym manager or owner says, if you clean my showers, I'll allow you to continue working at the gym, working out the gym. So I'll clean your showers, shoot, for a free gym membership. Man, I'll do that. So after a month, he says, I'll tell you what, you don't even have to clean my showers. Just come on in and work out for free. I never thought that would turn into meeting my wife, owning my own gym, winning Mr. USA, winning a ton of teenage competitions. How one person, like a Coach Arnold, would turn my entire life around, right? So we never know what we're doing just by one kind gesture could turn some of these youth's life around, right? So that's like my story, just real quick, quick gesture, because if I continue, I'll just be. Right, so just wanted to share that. At 15 years old, not even knowing I wanted to be a drummer, but how couldn't afford that, got into cleaning showers, never turned down an opportunity, right? Anything someone offers you, try it, because you never know where that's going to lead you. Try it, right? Doors open. Never be afraid to fail, right? Take advantage of opportunities. Do your best all the time because you never know who's out there looking for your best interest. Okay? Always do your best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone brave to follow that? Okay, well, with that, we will go. First of all, thank you for all the people that spoke, the adults, but especially the kids. Thank you guys. I know it can be a little intimidating standing up here with a microphone in your hand, but it was very meaningful to us to hear your stories. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with that, we will move on to item number 6, human resources, and I will pass it back over to Superintendent.
Thank you. I do want to say that as riveting as the rest of this information will be, you are welcome to leave whenever you need to, but we love having you here. So just giving you that pass, because sometimes I know we can be a little much.
Boring.
Go ahead.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you all for coming.
Appreciate it.
Great job.
Good coach.
Empty that.
We got to get some fitness and we get some more people
I
in our board meetings.
I'm learning about my school board's mental health, so.
Oh, I'm ready.
Can I get a minute to y'all?
I'm ready. One step at a time.
Hi, Ms. Buffett.
Yay. Thank you. Okay. So yes, item number 6 is human resources. So our BTA group has ratified the agreement that was created between former Superintendent Dr. Pittman and BTA leadership. And we are asking that you vote to approve and certify AB 1200, which is the public disclosure of collective bargaining agreement for the tentative agreement with the teachers union.
Can I get a motion and a second to approve AB 1200?
Motion to approve AB 1200.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
So the next item is my report. I know that it's probably better to schedule community presentations first, but it really is hard to follow that the wonderful success of our what I think is a great example of the partnership that comes from the love that we have for our community and the leaders that we have in our community, such as yourself. So my report, I have been here just a little over a month, and it's been a very full month. And I really, as I was writing kind of the introduction to this report, I would feel remiss if I did not extend an appreciation to the incredibly warm welcome that I've not only received from all of you trustees, but especially my office team. They have taken care of me. We have grown into a wonderful, I feel, team. And it's really been a joy waking up every morning, coming in and learning, soaking up the information that I'm receiving. Had many one-on-ones, had the opportunity to do a couple of field trips, and am taking in all perspectives, which can be overwhelming at first, but I know it's an important part of the process, building relationships, creating connections so that we can do the important work ahead of us. So I have a few items to update and if it's appropriate to engage in questions that you might have, so I'll pause after each. The first one is the COVID testing update. I included in the packet the most recent Safe Schools framework, and I just wanted to draw people's attention to page 9, where there has been a shift in the county's public health direction of testing. So on page 6, there's a caption about moving towards antigen testing. So in last year, we had the benefit of having Nurse Sabrina be able to provide her assistance to very impacted leadership in having to test every time we had a child who was presenting symptoms or who had reported a positive test. The shift that the county public health is suggesting is that we move the responsibility of testing to the parents with very strategic, proactive testing recommendations, along with still the strong recommendation to wear masks as people feel appropriate doing so. So we have several home tests that we'll give out to the community. We will be sending out information about our recommendations, which is basically to test before you come to start the school year, and then at the return after holiday breaks. And so with that proactive testing, the recording, the communication, that's very important between home and school. We hope to be able to create a safe in-person instruction environment while also attending to the needs that arise in our community. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that small shift, which will actually allow Nurse Sabrina to focus her energies not towards the mass pool testing, but rather really working in conjunction with leadership to update our website information with testing protocols, our safety plans, and to make in the overall design aspect of our website, which is an item I'll get to in a few minutes, but to make it more accessible to parents to be able to communicate, to see where the potential exposures have been, in which grade levels, and to hopefully bring some calm to potential anxiety that might arise as predicted surges will happen as we start to gather in groups. Any questions about the framework updates, or is this the appropriate time?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can take it one
Okay.
by one. I was going to allow the.
So is Nurse Sabrina full-time or she's part-time?
She's full-time. We share her on a certain basis with Brisbane Elementary School District. That is going to be slightly different because the focus of her support in Brisbane was to help with the pool testing. That was part of practice last year. So instead of having assigned days where she's on those campuses, she will be in an on-call status for Brisbane. So mostly here, depending, of course, on the ebb and flow of infectious diseases bring us this year.
So she's able to perform any sort of nursing
Yes.
capabilities, like
Triaging,
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
My question is more general to, and I don't know if anyone of the other trustees knows the answer to this. Is there any discussion out of Sacramento of mandating, adding this to the mandatory list of vaccinations for students?
No, I haven't
There's
heard
not-
anything,
Okay.
not even Prowse.
Neither have I, and that's
Yeah.
why I was asking. I didn't know
Yeah.
if I'd missed it or something. So, okay. And then, yeah, I guess my comment would just be, you kind of hit the nail on the head of, I agree with what the county is recommending. I think it would just be behoove ourselves to make sure it's clearly communicated to the parents, that it's their responsibility, and then also clearly communicate. And again, to be honest, this is nothing new. Pre-COVID, if your child showed symptoms, you were supposed to keep them home anyways. So it would just be a reminder, we need to do that.
Right, which that aspect is emphasized in the framework in terms of just proactive infectious disease prevention. So prior to the pandemic, it was, you know, if you have a fever, please stay home. And understandably, it presents a hardship for parents in the community who might not have care at home or who might not be able to stay home with their student. And so understandably, we would, you know, need to work within parameters, but we also want to make sure that we're not sharing germs that are harmful. So just common sense, past practice and continued practice with
You know,
migraine symptoms.
just like previous years, you know, we have a framework within the school as far as the 4 pillars. So that's maybe something that we can reintroduce to the community that we fall back on, just to make sure that we're conscientious of what we've overcome, you know, with this pandemic. So I believe, I don't know if Annette might have that, or if you have the copy of the 4 pillars, or Ms. Baker.
Yes.
Right. Sure.
And that's a question, are those pillars updated or they're from years previous?
It's what we built when we had to start constructing some framework.
It's more fundamental. So the pillars wouldn't be subject to change too much because it's very just fundamental. Just like was being said, it's just very common sense, and it's just. But I do like the idea of reminding the community that we've had these for the last 2 years and nothing's changed. We should still be adhering to them.
Yeah, I just want to say there are changes and there are other factors, you know, being brought to our community as far as diseases and self-management. So there's a way also in Mrs. Beal that also Dr. Pittman would join a group. It's like every other 2 weeks. And Annette knows about it, I believe. It's called Umoja Health. And also that the district promotes it. And Nancy McGee is part of it. And Dr. Pittman was part of it as well. So it's just a monthly or a bi-monthly Zoom meeting where we do discuss updates. We do discuss pillars. And everybody can put in their, you know, ideas and work on the issues like now monkeypox and flu. Even the flu shot is being promoted as it was from the last vaccination clinic that we had here at Bayshore. Safeway now has been our provider graciously, but they're not even going to visit on-site clinics unless they have at least 50 interested people and they're trying for the vaccination, COVID. So if we can't even get 50 people, they're trying to increase like the interest by adding a flu shot along with the vaccination, the COVID. So those are some of the areas that are just building. So I just wanted to make sure that, you know, you might, if you would like to be part of the organization, as Dr. Pittman was, then I will send you the information. Oh, and it's open to anybody into the community for North County.
I don't think that's, I think it was heavy during the time of the COVID, that ongoing conversation that we have with all the, I know what Ms. Brown is talking about. It was like every month or every Wednesday they will have, it's an ongoing conversation that we have with the district, community, you know, everybody. But I don't think it's as, you know, consistent as it now, since the COVID has slowly, you know, it's there, but it's that conversation is not happening as much as before. But I understand what Ms. Brown was
No, they're working on messaging right now. And then when the 4 pillars came up, that's what I know they're working on now. So it's more of an updated information about, just the messaging, how we're talking to our kids and our community, and the youth are working on it. It's not just the organization, it's youth from different high schools that are doing surveys and just keeping up with what's happening now. It's just a suggestion.
Are YouTube videos still out there?
Yeah. So just to correct, the 4 pillars we're discussing I was discussing was based on what was created here in the Bayshore School.
I got it.
Okay.
But yeah, this is North County, and this is one of the highest rates of positivity in our county.
Okay.
Daly City and the Bayshore is one of the highest rates.
So I think if you would like to share that resource with me, I'm definitely interested in not only getting more information that we can share with our community, but in the redesign of our website, I'm hoping to be able to make information more accessible for reasons just like this,
Yeah,
right?
I
To
can
take
always
care of
share.
the community.
Yeah. No one's obligated.
Okay, so I think, I'll jump a little bit to the redesign of the website, just because we're kind of centering in around there. So in my conversations, not only with parents, but staff and yourselves, this theme of communication has come up, and accessibility. And the website, in getting a tutorial myself as one who will be adding information to the website, the idea of a redesign came up with the ThrillShare consultant that we're working with. And so I'm bringing together ideas that I'm getting from the feedback that I'm receiving, as well as creating a design meeting to happen next week as a first step to hear what our options are, just in some initial prototypes that I was exposed to in my first meeting with the design consultant were successful designs from other schools where there were buttons. They were like tabs, but they're called buttons that could be a PTO button, a COVID update button, or a health button, community resource button. Those kind of easy access that can a board meeting button, so that we don't have several steps for our community and staff to have to work through in order to access information. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to, and there will be a few prototypes and opportunities for feedback that I would definitely like to get your input.
Yeah, if you need beta
about.
testers, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. The opening school activities. So this is really exciting, and really what has centered the last couple of weeks of focus. We have some creative ideas that today just showed some success. You may notice we have a new enrollment banner on Sharon, where we are encouraging people to register before the first day of school. I've heard several stories of how the first day of school was a little hectic. Understandably, we had many ebbs and flows all over the county. Being at the county office during this transition in and out of a pandemic afforded me a great perspective to see not only how different communities managed communicating the many different aspects of what every teacher and administrator faced, but also to the resilience that the community showed. And I think that we're finding ourselves coming back in a place of opportunity and reset. And so with that in mind, I think we've worked very effectively together to begin to put some resources in place so that the first day of school is very clear and safe for welcoming students onto campus. Some of those examples, as I said, with the registration support. So we started 3 days of registration in-person support. So with the help of Ms. Bowman, Ms. Sabrina, and 3 of our multilingual aides, we have in-person support ranging from 9 to 3:30 or 11:30 to 6 over the course of today, tomorrow, and Thursday. for people to come in person if they are not tech savvy or have access to technology in their homes. They can come and receive support from our school staff because registration is all online. And so we wanted to make sure that that access is available prior to school, because one of the things that was really impacting staff's ability to get students onto campus and in the correct places was the fact that we had a line of people going out the door trying to meet with our office staff so that they could register, because we cannot have children attend class until they're registered. So wanting to avoid any kind of lines on the first day of school and creating as many opportunities as possible to get the registration done. The other incentive that we were thinking that we are going to be implementing, and I'm a little hesitant to be sharing this now because I truly, truly believe part of my leadership and being an effective communicator is making sure that I don't share information with the board before the staff. But given the fact that we are still in summer recess, and I asked several questions about a past practice that the district has that I disagree with, and that is the posting of classes in person. I have been a parent whose child saw a class that they were not excited about being in the start of the school year. I've been a principal who's had to receive many complaints from parents whose child was crying or upset because they weren't placed with their friend. And just the posting of classes in person and that whole dynamic is not beneficial for students, in my opinion. And so I was speaking with Ms. Bowman and Principal Baker about the opportunity for students receiving a welcome email from their teacher before school starts as a way of saying, hey, I am so excited that we're going to start the year together. You're in my class. I can't wait to see you on the yard in the morning. And to get that email before school starts, your parent will get the email before school starts. And being able to do that because your parent has registered you before the first day of school will help that first day process of finding your teacher on the yard and beginning that relationship, I think, in a way more positive way. So we are going to present that new practice to the staff on the 15th and have a dialogue around the why and the how that we can bring a positive first start to our students. So that will be an incentive to get registered. And the other thing that, and very clear supports through communication about how to get onto Schoolwise, to do the registration, what the COVID protocols and practices are, and what you could expect for the first day. Having staff positioned around different places of the school, one to manage traffic, several to welcome students onto campus, to also support the morning lunch, breakfast intake, and then also to bring students to the yard. So we will not be able to have parents on campus for the first day of school, but we will have very excited and welcoming staff to make sure the transition from drop-off to the school is a success. And I think those are the opening school activity updates. Any questions or?
Oh, no, I wanted to, I like the idea. I think that's a very smart and a humble way to do the classes for students. I never knew that the classes were posted because I don't have a child that goes to school here, so I never knew that, but that makes sense. And my question follow up to what you were implying about the parents not coming on. When are we going to even look at a close date for that to be open to the parents?
So we're, Principal Baker and I are actually talking about how we can coordinate a safe on-campus, in-person back to school night for our parents and and staff. And so we are still working that out, and that's definitely a conversation we'll be having with the staff before solidifying anything. But wanting to look at staggering when certain classes are here in person, how many people we have in the classrooms for parents to be received on campus to get the information. I would say that is going to be the first scheduled time that we can have parents on campus. But as I've discussed with Principal Baker, I would like to be able to move towards getting back to more opportunities to safely gather together in ways where we're not jeopardizing health, in ways where we can provide a safe and comfortable environment for people to engage. So I would say that the back to school night is our first hopeful time that we'll be able to welcome parents onto campus, but with the very dynamic first day of school activities, it's best to have one entrance point, a drop-off point, or a walk to the drop-off, and then the escort on. Thank you. Okay, and so the other thing I wanted to begin to address, and I want to say that I had a wonderful conversation with President Pepe of the BTA around one of the presentations that happened in the spring. And I've also had 2 conversations with trustees around some key data that's been collected and needs some follow-up. And so I just wanted to share that I am intrigued and aware of some 3 key data pieces: the equity audit, the executive board presentation from spring of 22, and the culture and climate survey. And while I've done an initial review, that is just the first step. And so what I have noticed is that there are some common themes in the feedback that has been received from each of those data pieces that I saw in my interview. So a theme of communication, of prioritizing accountability, leadership development. These are important through lines for each of those data points that I will continue to analyze and dialogue with people to get perspective beyond just what we have in hard copy, so that I can be intentional about how we're working together as a community to have the outcomes that those data pieces have elicited. And so there will be talking points that I will schedule not only during my my superintendent reviews, but also in our Wednesday staff gatherings, so that we can make sure that we're being intentional with how we're moving forward and really addressing that accountability piece and the reflective piece about not starting something and not finishing it, right? Starting something and not finishing it. Really making sure, I joke, not a joke, but it's an issue, a personal issue at home. I'm like, follow through. That is a theme that I raise my children with, that I remind my husband about. And sorry, honey. But it's very important. It's very important, and it is something that was very much echoing in several of the conversations and data pieces. So I just wanted to say that I'm aware, I'm looking at the information that was collected and look forward to follow-up conversations.
My only comment was, I know that one of the original, obviously everything's subject to change, but one of the original intentions of the climate culture survey was for it to be reoccurring, so that it gave us an opportunity to get benchmarks, and are we trending in the right direction or not? So
that's actually something that Principal Baker and Mr. Patel and I talked about in terms of our restructuring of his counseling support and the alignment with our K-12 workforce grant and our work with social emotional development of our students, and the data points that he would like to make sure that he is supporting the staff to collect and analyze. So I know that the initial culture and climate survey came out of a subcommittee, if I'm not mistaken, the work of a subcommittee, but I would like to, have further discussions as to what, body of leadership is facilitating this analysis, but also very much agree with President Pepe that we need to have BTA representation. And I'd really like it to be an in-house school analysis because we're the people who are doing the work and we need to be accountable for the feedback that we're getting. So the last 2 points just are more logistics. Just wanted to confirm that we are on our plan for having our special board meeting on August 20th, Saturday, and that's from 9 to 3 with the CSBA consultant. Okay, great. And then my last question is a consideration that I would like for you to consider, and that is we have a tradition of holding our board meetings the second Tuesday of every month. And I know this is a late ask, and I understand if it's not possible, but I do have my doctoral classes on Tuesdays. We are transitioning. I finished summer term this last week and starting our fall courses at the end of August. And so I didn't miss class today, but if we continue to have class on Tuesdays, then I will have a conflict that if we can avoid, I would appreciate you considering avoiding. If we can move it to the second Wednesday or even just have another day besides Tuesday be in the mix of the calendar, I would appreciate any flexibility your schedules would allow.
Does anyone have conflicts?
I do. I have church events on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays.
How long is your program?
3 years.
Oh.
And I just started in January. If there is potentially another day during the week, which I don't know is a possibility, or we can stick to Tuesdays and revisit perhaps next year.
What about Thursdays?
Thursdays, that's fine. I don't know about the rest.
I'm flexible on either.
And that's the other thing.
Either
I mean,
of those days.
as long as we announce it far enough in advance, if we needed to shift where 1 month it's on a Wednesday and another month it's on a Thursday. Obviously, if Wednesdays don't work for you, then we can.
No, we need to stick to one day. If it's a Thursday for
right.
3 years, we stay
Please
on
do.
Thursday until
Until we can go back to
deal.
And I will say that the course, the third year is the dissertation writing. So there are fewer classes and perhaps even not an issue on the third year. But the first and second year is the consistency of courses on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but Thursdays are asynchronous. And so I have the flexibility.
So Thursday's not good too.
No. Thursdays is
Good.
much better than Tuesdays. Tuesdays is synchronous. And
Ms. Brown? Okay, on Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesdays are probably
Yeah.
not good, but yeah, Thursdays would work.
that would be wonderful. The second Thursday, or is there another?
Let's stick with the second Thursday.
Second Thursday, I think we should be able to accommodate that.
Wonderful. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
And that's all I have for my report so far.
And with that, we will move into board member reports. Is there any board members that would like to report out?
Well, I'm going to start with me since I'm facing this way. We just finished a national night at the city. I did receive your email on the community together for tomorrow. Was it today or tomorrow?
It was today.
It was today? Totally missed it. And how was that?
I think it was wonderful. I know that Trustee Avalana was there as well. There were, I would say, 10 people in attendance, which included 2 of the facilitators from the conflict Peninsula Conflict Resolution. I know I'm not saying that correctly.
Yeah,
PCRC.
that's right.
Thank you, PRC. And I was a little late, but for the portion of the conversation that I had, or I was able to listen to, I really appreciated people's candor, their willingness to share the pain that they've been experiencing, the hope that was also shared with regard to hopefully this serving as a catalyst to bring some agency for change, for action, and the support that we have for our youth, especially those who have graduated from Bayshore. I think today's presentation for the community fitness program that is off to an incredible start is a great example of some resources that could be made available for our community. And then I know that Principal Baker has also been in communication with the boys and girls the Park and Rec, right? Or is it Ray and
Parks, about their starting, they have implemented programming for seniors out at the community center, and then they're sort of going to work their way down to younger people with an emphasis on the high school students. And so in light of, just over and over this theme of like, there's the parks, Mr. Patel, has expressed, and there's no park now, there's nowhere for them to go, and then there's no programming. So we have that opportunity with Parks and Rec because we have BGCP here with our students. So I've been communicating with them about what their plan is, and just making sure that we're in the loop about what their plan is, and not just so that we know, but that we can help promote it through our website, through other means, because we have so many families with older siblings, like there's just multiple times, multiple ways to share the ways that our kids can have activities to do, whether they are current students or former students.
So I did attend the very late, the Daly City, the Park and Recs program. The introducing of what are some of the programs that they're going to come out and have it at the facility on the hill. And Trustee Rick was over there, and Ms. Marion was there too. And I found out just by reading that brochure that they had that day that they're going to have a lot of programs that's going to be there. I feel that, it's always good on papers, but then the follow up, and the consistency of it somehow falls in the cracks as it goes. So I feel that it's our responsibility, or maybe that we should continue to push forward with that, to be on it, on top of, hey, you introduced this to happen, where is it going? How is it coming along? Which is beautiful. I want that to have that communication and that relationship with the city of what's going on. So the national night, it's this night that they have it every year in Daly City at the parking lot of the ceremony. And then it's the PTO were there last year, huh?
Yeah.
And they were able to advertise it and even promote the school over there. So maybe they weren't available. Sometimes the dates can be very confusing sometimes, but I think those important dates that Ms. Annette, if it's too much to ask you to let the city know if we can have a calendar, their calendar, so that way it kind of married in with our calendar, some of those important dates that we can come there and participate with them. I don't know if you heard that I'm also on the organization for PIT, Pacific Islands Together. So this year, we usually do a giveaway backpacks. Ms. Baker and some of the staff here, but we kind of change gears a little bit to this year. So instead of giving out, over the course of time that we've been doing this, that all the applications and most of the registrations form that we received are not from the community here in Bayshore. They're from everywhere, but Bayshore. So we decided, our president and myself and our board, we started having conversation, hey, why don't we change it a little bit? So instead of us hosting a giveaway backpack, we provide some of those resources, teachers' resources, you know, some of the backpacks, and we just bring it here to the school. And then maybe the PTO can collaborate it with, you know, with this, just to give it out to who needs it, to our community, you know. And then if it's there, you know, because backpacks, they tend to tear down after 2 months, or, hey, here's a backpack. So that's how we change it up now. Instead of hosting a huge line of giving away backpacks, we just bring it to the school. So we started with Bayshore, and then we make our way up to all the schools. We literally base here in Daly City to give away to some of the schools. It's the same way, the same thing that we're going to do with Christmas in the Park. That's how we're going to do it too. So things are changing up a little bit, because some of the schools, like, you guys are always there at Bayshore. So we're now trying to, you know, accommodate all the schools in Daly City. So
I have a little update about the backpacks. So we used it today to attract people to come to our registration event, and it was a first come first served backpack giveaway registration, and we don't have any more left. So everyone of our Bayshore students who were able to come today received a backpack thanks to your generosity.
You're welcome. And there were some teachers' resources there. I don't know that.
Oh, yes, those are all laid out on the side of the NPR. So when we're having, I forgot this update. When we are having our welcome breakfast on the 15th, which I hope many of you will be able to attend, just from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on Monday the 15th, I would like, in coordination with the incredible efforts that Principal Baker is putting together for not only that morning of bringing people back together, but also with all of the math PD that's been scheduled for those 2 pre-service days. The supplies are laid out in the NPR and are available for teachers to select as they are wanting them.
Okay, thank you. And that's my report.
Is that for the morning only, or what about the lunch?
Yes, thank you. So the morning breakfast, it's been a long day.
I know it is. Trust me, I know.
So the idea is from 8:30 to 9, we'll gather, the light breakfast will be available prior to that, starting at 8 o'clock. Okay. And her incredible kitchen team. So we'll be having a light breakfast, and then from 8:30 to 9, doing a welcome where distinguished guests will be introduced, as well as all of our important staff members. We are onboarding 5 new staff members, a new superintendent, and so there's lots of introductions to have. But the idea is that we do that, and then the classified and certificated staff will go to the STEAM rooms to engage in our community building, and the PTO and all board trustees are coordinating a lunch for staff from 11:30 to 12 that day, right before we jump into our math learning. So I've talked a little bit about this to both PTO and trustee leadership. So the coordination is ready to go. The kitchen staff is ready to support anything that you might want to have from them. So we're ready when ideas are ready to flow.
Great. I'll talk a little bit about how excited I am for this coming school year. Throughout the summer, there's been some changes, and there's been many changes. Like you said, we have new teachers here now. I believe you said 5, right? That's what we talked about. So it's exciting to get through this school year and to see how we progress and support everyone at every level, especially our students. And me individually want to focus on the social emotional, the mental health, and make sure that the outcome of each child and their achievements from preschool all the way to 8th grade, that we focus on that outcome for them, academically, physically, mentally, emotionally. Those are the key factors that I challenge all of us in the school district to come together and to make this happen. I had an opportunity to go to an event other trustees were at, which was Park and Library, and it was great to see how they did a soft opening to cater to all ages, from young to seniors. They had mahjong tables there. They had ping pong. I actually engaged in ping pong, which it's been years, but I forgot how good I was. But to know that I was waiting for Papua to accept the challenge, but it was great to see that, although that they're working on the programs, that there will be programs. Whatever it is, it's going to cater to every age, and that's what we really need for this community, to ensure that not only the students here at Bayshore, but after they leave, we heard a lot of presentations from our alums as they leave. A lot of them have nothing. They have to go into other areas that are not even in our school district to play in a basketball court, where we don't have that access anymore here. So we need to create those things in order for us to ensure the future of these students and these children, and make, help them become great citizens in our communities. So that was great. Today was eye-opening for the circle that we were involved in. There was a lot of dialogue that was shared, and we have a lot of work to do. Definitely have a lot of work to do.
Can I share something?
Yes.
Just because I feel it's really timely, and I don't, we'll be at a future board meeting where there can be some more formal presenting about the community school pathway that
Sure.
we are going down. But one of the things that is coming is programming here after school that is, it's just gonna extend our day. I mean, that's part of the grant that we have. It's part of what we will have once we have the community schools grant set up. We have, that's all like in the works, and so it was Sarah, it's a moment where the concern about the follow through, the concern about the action, I feel really confident that we are on that path for that action to happen, and hearing how important that is from the community just validates where the way, the direction that we are going. And so, I'm hopeful, and it's just like, it doesn't, the proof is when it happens, so it's all talk till it happens. And I'm very, very hopeful that that's happening, and we'll have a lot more to talk about with that.
Sure. Thank you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what PCRC will bring in, because that's promising. That's a great organization in San Mateo County that can provide a lot of their services and support, especially for our staff, our students, and the greater community. So I'm looking forward to that. It was a pleasure to visit the students at Physique Magnifique, and it's a very, yeah, to see their circuit training, and I know we saw the presentation and them talking about their experiences, but it was rewarding to see what transformation they have all went through. And, you know, I know how it is. If we're not preparing our students to enter into high school or even college physically and mentally, there's a lot of challenges that they will face. We do know academics plays a very important role, but we also need to focus on the mental and emotional supports for them as well. And it was great to see that through that circuit training that they were doing. I was almost wanting to get involved, but I was just there to observe. But so that was rewarding to see and to hear it all. It's going to be great to see all the staff coming together on Monday morning, and making sure that we're all there to support one another, and that's what it's all about. You know, PTO is going to be involved in helping us provide the lunch, so we'll communicate with them and ensure that we get that rolling. So,
and I sent you that invoice last time.
Yes. So staff, be prepared. You're going to have a nice breakfast and a lunch. And that's all I have.
Ms. Brown, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the dates coming up, and I have a very important doctor's appointment on the 15th. I'm getting ready to have surgery. I have a torn rotator cuff.
Oh my.
I've been in pain.
My personal opinion is health comes first. So that is your top priority, is to get well and do what your doctor recommends. And that's your top priority. And if you can't make it on the 15th, that's okay.
You were surfing in Hawaii, huh?
No, surfing with the remote. I did have an enjoyable time at the, it's called the Obama Africana Museum in Hawaii, his home state. So while watching the news and surfing the channels, one of the curator was on a news, she did a news flash. And so that day I said, oh, well, we can go. It's his birthday. So it was Obama's birthday. And we made it out to the celebration, and they called it 2022 Walk. So I was able to walk with a bad knee and a bad shoulder. We just walked around the corner of the museum from one corner to the next and held up the sign that said happy birthday, 44th president. So it made me proud, and it made me, it energized me. Not enough to go on the beach, but it was a great vacation. So I'm glad to be back home though. So yeah, that was my experience over the holiday, not holiday, over my vacation. And I did celebrate a birthday in July, which we won't talk about. My
We missed your
milestone.
birthday? Okay.
You
note
missed
to
my
self,
birthday.
Ms.
but-
Brown's birthday is in July. We don't know, but we'll narrow it down. We'll do some research.
Yeah, you will figure it out. So yeah, thank you everybody for just welcoming me, and we have big things to do in these upcoming years, and I would just want to be able to share whatever I can and bring something to the board and to the whole entire community and to the school. And I can see changes happening now, and I'm so glad to see them, developing.
Here, here.
Oh, thank you.
I'll try to
Happy
be,
belated birthday.
yes, happy
Yeah.
belated birthday. I'll try and be quick. On the note of scheduling, so yeah, I'm looking forward to our Saturday meeting with Luann.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do we have breakfast and lunch?
Yes.
Thought you were bringing it.
And on that note, I did see, and I'm sure others may have seen, that CSBA MBTA has opened up their schedule for the Masters in Governance series.
That's expensive.
So I would encourage you to look, and if it's something you're interested in, reach out to Superintendent Beal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I still
looking
have.
at it. Does that come out of
December 1st.
Do you
Yeah.
have a budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so a couple quick comments, and I'm not sure what, if any, the school, I don't know if the school had any impact on it or not, but like the curb push-outs on the corners of the school, great, but poor implementation. I don't know who hired the subcontractors, but they didn't use the right paint, and it's almost an eyesore. But I'm actually appreciate the safety for the students that it adds. So, but it would be great. I don't know if we have to reach out to the city or not to get something more permanent, or I'll say it, professionally done. The paint that they use on the roads lasted about a week, so they didn't use the right paint.
So with that, I'm trying to take on that responsibility. 'Cause
Okay.
that's something that, I started, but there's a lot more that we have to do to get engineering out here to really, because what we want is on Oriente and Insurin is a loading zone for our students, because we talked about the safety, especially during before school and after school. But that would be important to get the bump outs as well, and also a pedestrian crosswalk, especially on the middle of Shurin and Oriente. So there's a lot of, we're going to reach out to our city council. Yeah, city council,
We can work with you on
Pamela
that too.
Giovanni. And
I like those lights, the one that lights
the
up
flicker,
when
yeah.
they
Yeah.
cross.
There's one on Geneva and
Yeah, well, they did the whole upgrade even in San
So that's
Francisco.
why I always encourage all of us trustees, those meetings, the council meeting, we continue to
Sure.
complain about the city, but none of us is coming there to bring a comment to the meetings. And I can't do it alone, but it's all good to go together.
I'm actually coordinating a meeting with the Safe Routes to School leaders from the county office who are trying to coordinate with city engineers to come and have these very discussions. I think we might be close to a meeting, and I'm afraid it might be happening next week. So the turnaround notice, as soon as I get confirmation, I'm hoping to confirm that tomorrow. I will share.
It's next week.
We were talking about potentially next week. I was saying it's not great because we're having pre-service days and the first day of school. So I'm trying to push it to the end of the month. But as soon as I coordinate that date, I will share that with you so that I can, if it works in your schedules, at the very least, just to provide this kind of input on quality and different ideas for safety.
And for the record, I wasn't complaining about the city. I was complaining about whoever the implementation person is.
Since the city works.
Was it?
It is.
Well, I mean, again,
It's
I
public
don't
works.
know. I am not a contractor, but I do know that you have to use special paint. And when I walked down there and what was at one point red for what seemed to be about a day, red paint turned like a chalky white, something was not right. So
It's been watercolors.
Oh, I apologize. I wasn't saying that.
yeah.
So let me rephrase. We continue to talk about the
Yes.
city.
Well, and on that note, yeah, I think some of the other comments, and I agree, we all need to show up to the city council meetings, because some of the other concerns I have, I got the midway redevelopment schedule. And as we were talking about athletics, the field is phase 5 or 6. So that's not going to be done for a long time. So, but it would be nice to get a schedule and also a plan. Who gets to determine that and just kind of know, so that maybe the school can actually provide input as to what is built as part of that park, in addition to the community. And then obviously on the bump outs, it's like the whole parking and traffic. People are running stop signs here left and like literally blowing through stop signs, not even tapping their brakes. And I'm picturing a child crossing the crosswalk at that time and what's going to happen. So I don't know. Again, I know it's getting bad and it's only going to get worse. So
Are there traffic patrollers, like students?
Students cannot be on the street.
I mean, an adult that is leading that?
They have to go through a training and the city don't provide that anymore.
I think though it's part of the safe schools,
Safe routes, yeah.
safe routes to schools
Yeah.
conversation. We have talked about trying to
Right.
get speed bumps in, and we've been shot down many times for that. But again, I'm just bringing this up to the board. But I completely agree. We need to show up to the city council meetings and bring it to their attention firsthand. Because in addition to when the redevelopment and we're quadrupling almost the number of units there, we're still in a food desert. And the number of parking spaces is going down. So in theory, people would be taking public transit or walking. And it would be nice to have a community gathering place like that has shopping. And I mean, obviously there's Geneva, but taking your family and hanging out on Geneva is not an ideal situation. Not that I love the small businesses on Geneva and I fully support them, but it would be nice to see something more than just we're packing in more and more housing, which again is great that we're contributing to the housing crisis and trying to relieve it, especially affordable housing. But we also need to balance out with some services for the community as well.
I have a name and number of the person who presented at the Midway wall raising. So some of those questions were brought up.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. And unfortunately, I missed that because I was out of town. I missed the community center get together because I was out of town. So yeah, thank you guys for representing.
I think we had somebody in our audience who.
So yeah, so I second that a community garden, our garden over here needs loving. And if they're working on the seniors up there, they're starting that. That can be aligned together with their program. Can you bring the seniors
Intergenerational
inside
programs.
our garden, and start doing that?
We have a garden teacher who's starting, so their whole program is that it's not to be, we've had like Grandpa, Papa Sabado come and he's been caring for the garden in the summer, like last year. But once the community garden teacher starts, they have like a whole program, and we're gonna have nutrition folded into that this year too for the younger kids. But that's why in Midway, there's other opportunities for that, and we've met with community leaders to talk about other spots in the neighborhood where there could be a community garden. So
Well, there's a on Otia at the end there. There's a community park,
They are.
but it's kind of like overgrown
I don't
trees
know
and bushes.
why they call that a park. It's
Yeah,
not
it's-
even a park. It's just a spot.
So maybe
with
that can
trees.
also be converted into a community garden.
So another good thing coming, not to add it, because in the libraries trustees, city, the Bayshore, we're looking at putting a beehive, a bee thing on the top of Bayshore, or the Bayshore Library. And what it does too is going to help, and I advertise for Bayshore, to bring, education to using our students here. That they will go there and everything will be provided. So they say Bayshore Library is the best place for that. Also, the libraries on the park on the top, they're going to do they're installing read, like walk and read. Like, so that is coming up too for that park over there. So more things are coming to Bayshore. More details will be in place.
I would love to envision a place where the residents of this entire community could walk walk or bike with their family members, older or younger, to a central location, get a cup of coffee or something, or as my kids would say, a boba, and then, and hang out. It's like we don't have any sort of really nice place to hang out. I mean, I love the community center up there, but it's up on a hill, which, for people with limited mobility, that makes it kind of difficult.
It's windy up there too.
Maybe we propose something with the Cow Palace. And
Oh,
they were
boy.
Able to give up some square footage or acreage. So.
Yeah. So anyways, any other
No.
comments, or I don't want to cut anyone off. Okay. With that, we will adjourn at 8:19.